got 30 minutes to clean up your homepage, the first thing you want to do is take away the things that are time wasters. Know what your revenue is. Know what it is for the year and for every month. If you can understand what your revenue or expected sales should be, then you can comfortably set aside a marketing budget. Research shows that we form opinions about a website in less than 3 seconds. That means your potential client is already judging your entire business before they've even scrolled. There's something else on your website that is going to kill your conversion, and it's you. Welcome to Marketing Your Brand, the podcast for business owners who are done wasting time and money on marketing that isn't right for them. I'm Peggy Worrell, award-winning agency owner and your straight-talking guide through the joys and chaos of growing your business. In every episode, I skip the fluff and talk openly about what actually works. If you're ready to do marketing the right way for you, let's go. In this episode, we're going to talk about the 3 pages you need to fix, otherwise your website's not going to convert. Before we dive in, let's get real for a second. Most people think their website just needs more traffic, more ads, more clicks. But conversion doesn't happen just because someone lands on your site. It happens because your website makes them feel safe, seen, and sold. Here's the thing. Humans make snap decisions. In fact, research shows, and we know this from many years of experience, that we form opinions about a website in less than 3 seconds. That means your potential client is already judging your entire business before they've even scrolled. And if your site creates confusion, looks unprofessional, or lacks trust signals, your brain subconsciously says, no thanks. That's called cognitive fluency. That's the professional term, but it basically means our brains are wired to prefer what feels easy to understand, familiar, and safe. Part of human nature. So if your site isn't clear, compelling, and conversion ready, it's just bad design and bad psychology. Let's get down to the 3 important pages that are either going to convert or completely kill your leads. The first one, and I like to argue is the most important one above your sales page because it's the one where most of your traffic goes and your organic search traffic definitely will end up seeing, is your homepage. It's considered the first filter. If they don't get it in 3 seconds, they'll leave. If your homepage, if you're treating it like a scrapbook or you're treating it as a filler page, it's not doing the job it needs to do. It's not answering the question straight away. Am I in the right place? And then direct to where they need to be. So ask yourself, is your site mobile friendly, fast loading, and free of clutter on your homepage? Do you have one clear benefit-led headline for every section? And most importantly, the first page that they land to, which is the top of your homepage called above the fold, is that saying the right things? Is it obvious what you do, who you help, and how? If they're not getting that within the first content load or the first page load of the homepage, you're probably going to find out they're not going to be convinced and they're going to leave. Are your call to action buttons visible, consistent, and intentional? We don't want to be asking them to take an action too soon or too late. You need to have those call to actions spread out strategically with the right messaging. Are your call to actions confusing or are they saying the right things? So here's a pro tip for you. When you're thinking about your homepage, don't try to tell your whole story on the homepage. Don't go the other way and say too much. Say the things that are right or persuasive enough to guide them into the right direction or guide them into taking the next step, to dive deeper, to go into a next page from your homepage. So page number 2. And this is a bit of a loaded one, is your service or product pages. So when I talk about service pages, we talk about, if you're a service-based business, what kind of services you're offering or delivering. When we talk about a product page as an e-commerce business, it's the actual product listing page on your website. This is how you want to think of these 2 pages. So they're where the actual sale happens, very obvious for e-commerce, not so obvious for service providers. When you're talking about your service or your product, if this page isn't doing the heavy lifting, you'll lose sales and warm leads. These are your money pages, more important than your contact page or a form page or even your home page. If they're not saying the right things there where you've captured attention for your service or product, and quite often treated like a list of features, let's be honest, because most service and product pages are quite bare minimum, you want to avoid that. You don't want to have your service or your product page list things that are an afterthought. You want it to be what people want to read or hear or learn about. So instead, answer this. What's the problem? And do you deeply understand it as the business owner? And what can you say to have them understand it? Answer this. Why you? What's so unique? What solution or product are you selling or offering, or what approach are you taking for them to choose you over others, over your competitors, over what your competitors are saying? And ask, what's the outcome? Show the transformation, not just focus on making the sale, the transaction, or the discount. Focus on what they're going to get after they purchase the product or sign up to your service or hire you. What will that outcome be? Don't forget your trust triggers. And this is different for service-based and product-based because there are all different ways you can do them. But the common ones are use your testimonials, use your case studies, get that outcome of what you're delivering right. Focus on what you want to say that they're going to get in the end. And think about your certifications and, dare I say it, guarantees. Use the client logos that you've worked with previously. If you've got refund policies that offer 30-day money-back guarantees, or if you've got a return policy, have your guarantees as a safety net, not your selling point. So what will happen is if you're using certifications or guarantees too heavily in your service or product pages, the sale will be focused on what that guarantee is instead of what the outcome is. And when you have that kind of understanding disconnect between your customer and what you're offering, you're going to struggle to get a second sale or keep those customers or clients loyal to you because they're not focused on the outcome, they're focused on a sales tactic. So a pro tip for you here is sell the outcome, not the product or the offer. People don't buy things to own things. They buy for what it will do for them. Make sure you're talking to it. Now, page 3, and this is probably going to set some other marketers off, isn't your contact form, isn't your sales page, it isn't where your phone number's listed or what newsletter subscription they should sign up to. It's your about page. It is the ultimate trust builder. People buy from people, not pages. I'm sure everyone has heard this. We hate letting people dive into what we're about. We hate people overshare. We hate to overshare with customers or people, but you need to remember that it is the most underutilized page on your website and a page that 2 out of 3 visitors will visit. And we've got stats to prove that one. So what happens when it's used well? Your about page becomes that bridge. It helps get the idea out of their mind and make a connection to you. Here's what it should do. Your about page should share the why behind your business, not just your resume. It should share how you started, your values, your mission, your vision, timelines even if you've been around for a while. People love a good story and they love a good personality connection even when they're buying from you. And you might think to yourself, I'm just an accountant, or I'm just a plumber. No one needs to hear about this. But connection is what people go to the about page for. So reinforce your authority, experience, and use social proof. Yes, we all hate using social proof. It's a pain in the ass to curate, but unfortunately we have to do it. So try not to be robotic with what you're saying or how you're showing that experience. Connect deeper to how it came along or your personality or what makes you, you. And add a call to action to your About Us page. That's right. You can actually ask them to do something at the start, in the middle, at the end. Drive that connection. Use those call to actions across your website. And an About page is still a good page to use them. So your pro tip here is talk about your customer more than you talk about yourself. Position your story as part of their journey on your About page because they're looking for that connection and looking to build trust. Quick break. If you're loving this episode and thinking, I really need help with this, we've got you. If you're growing your business on your own and want expert guidance, check out our DIY workshops. Or if you're ready for the power of a done-for-you agency, we can help with that too. Just follow the links in the show notes to find out more. Back to the episode. Okay, let's talk real here. If you've got 30 minutes to clean up your homepage, the first thing you want to do is take away the things that are time wasters, such as overly long explainers. Keep your copy to the point and concise. Think of what the section on your homepage that you're talking about is really driving home here. Talk to that. Keep it short, to the point. Long homepage sections, as good as they are to attract those people that want to read more and learn more about you, don't belong on the homepage. They belong on the second or third page where they're trying to convince themselves that they actually want to contact you. The second thing to clean up on your homepage are outdated reviews or testimonials that are just too long and don't relate. Look for things that are inconsistent across your testimonials, such as long testimonials as opposed to a one-line explainer. It's not going to look too well on your reviews section of your homepage. And number 3 on your homepage, and something that people always forget about, is your above the fold section. So that first section that loads instantly on the page, what is it saying? Clean up the message. Use one of your brand messages. Make sure it's something that will make you stand out and pique your visitors' interest. There's something else on your website that is going to kill your conversion, and it's your design. We see it time and time again. People have found new tools. They found new things that they can use to get a homepage or a website page quickly built or designed. I'm going to break it to you. You're not going to like it. Boring design doesn't work. Cookie cutter templates, while they seem easy to do, don't help boost your trust or your brand. And they don't help you stand out from a sea of websites that are using the same structure, the same look, the same feel. We've been there before. We've seen it all. We've seen the go high level funnels that all look the same. Great. They serve a purpose, but your website should captivate your visitor, should make them want to stay on your website, should make them want to explore it deeper, dive deeper into your brand messages, make them want to see more things with you. And an easy way to do that is with great design. But also remember, you don't want to go too far into design that you're distracting from what you're trying to say and what your brand messages are meant to be communicating. The biggest mistake that we see people do with their homepage is it looks terrible. I cannot put this straight enough. It's outdated. The colors are wrong. The messaging's wrong. There's blank, empty sections. Even worse, there's images that aren't loading. So people are coming to your homepage, or any page for that matter, and seeing that your website is broken and looks terrible, and they're not going to convert. They're not going to be interested in going further and seeing or hearing what you have to say. In the workshop, we talk about how you can develop the right brand messages that are going to persuade your visitors with what they want to hear, what they need to do, and why they should choose you. So if your website and your service and product pages aren't honing in on what your brand message needs to say, you're losing sales. So we get this question all the time about what's the ideal structure for a service page that converts. And I was talking about this the other day to one of our clients who had worked with an agency before, and they delivered their website, but they hadn't got the copy right and the messaging right on the service page. And therefore it wasn't really translating for them. So I'm going to share some secret tips for you. When you're writing your service page, you need to think about it from the standpoint of what your visitor wants to see or hear. What does the service do is not the same as what the outcome of the service brings. So, for example, if you are an accountant and you're looking at offering tax advice to someone, is it that your service page should be talking about the nitty-gritty technical aspects of what goes into providing that taxation service? Or should it be talking about how it's going to make your client's life better? It's going to make them less stressed in their business, knowing that they have someone that's going to lodge their BAS on time or keep their tax obligations managed. What's the outcome there? Is it the service that you need to talk about, or is it the end result of what they want to hear? Service pages are fine if you're just going to talk about the technical aspects, but you'll find that they'll convert deeper and connect more with your clients if they're actually delivering on the outcomes they want. So boring, stuffy topics such as taxation legislation and BAS lodgements can actually resonate and connect with your clients, whether that's a small business or a big corporation that's interested in hiring you as an accountant. You want to find out what their pain points are and what they're actually looking for above the benefits or the technical aspects. So that's one example of how you can use it in, let's say, an accountant practice. But if you're a different business in a different industry, the same principles apply. Your service page should talk about what you do, how you do it, why you do it, but also what the outcome to the visitor of your website is looking for. So let me leave you with this. If your homepage doesn't hook your visitor, your sales page doesn't sell, and your about page doesn't connect, your website isn't a tool that will help you grow. It might be time to get professional help. But is it the right time to get professional help? A good way to know if you're ready for a professional marketing agency or even a consultancy or an expert to step in and fix your website is to assess your marketing budget. Now, a lot of business owners come to us and they're unsure about how much their budget should be, or funnily enough, they want us to tell them what their budget should be for what they want. But it doesn't typically work like that. A good rule of thumb and a good little safety net to have in the back of your mind when you're running your business and what you should be spending on marketing is to know your numbers. Know what your revenue is. Know what it is for the year and for every month. If you can understand what your revenue or expected sales should be, then you can comfortably set aside a marketing budget. A good rule of thumb to follow for the amount of budget you should use on your marketing is to keep it at 10% of your total revenue. So if your revenue is only $100,000 a year, think about it at 10% of that every month. Don't look at net profit because that should be kept aside. Your revenue needs to be comfortable for your overall marketing, to grow it, to bring in the sales. So 10% is generally a good guide. If you're exceeding the 2 million, 3 million mark, obviously 10% of that is amazing, but it may not even be needed. So this is where you'd look at using something like 5 or 8% of your monthly revenue. But to know that, you need to know your numbers and you need to know what your goals are for your business. Or on the other side, if you're DIYing your website and you don't know what your revenue is, or it's not quite regular enough for you to predict, ask yourself these 3 things. Is your website doing what it should be doing? Are those 3 pages doing their job? Or maybe it's more suitable for you to consider a coaching or workshop program, such as our Build a Better Business program, where we walk you through how to rewrite and structure these pages based on proven consumer and psychological strategies. So your website finally starts working for your business. If you're ready to turn confusion into conversion and clicks into clients, this is your sign. Let's build a better business. One powerful web page at a time. And remember, don't just do it right. If you got value from today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a straight talking strategy to move your business forward. If you want more support, check out the link in the show notes for our step-by-step workshops that will help you build a better business, leveraging the right marketing tactics. Or if you're ready for the power of a done-for-you solution, chat with our team and we'll see how we might be able to help you. And don't forget to follow us on socials at Marketing Your Brand. And remember, no matter where you're at in business, take the next right step for you.